And look at chapter 3 of the first letter to Timothy, verse 16. Let's see the mystery of deity or godliness. It says, without question, great is the mystery. You see the word mystery there? Great is the mystery of godliness, deity. And what is the mystery of deity? That God was what? That God was manifest in what? In the flesh. And when was God manifest in flesh? In the person of Jesus Christ. And then who was Jesus Christ? God. Jesus Christ was the Son. It was God himself. What happens is that everything that a woman birthed, you have to call a child. It couldn't say Mary had a beautiful father. No, the problem was that God said is that son was God. It wasn't that God had a son. It was that God manifests himself in flesh. And when he was manifest in flesh, he was known as the Son of God. That was the mystery that when you read history, the disciples, they were confused. Philip said, oh man, we are confused because it's that you speak of God and then you yourself forgive sin, and only God can forgive sin. So then you say that God will send the Spirit, and then you blow into someone the next day. Receive. So why don't you show us the Father so we get out of this confusion? So he says, Philip, don't you know that I am in the Father and the Father is in me? But Philip didn't understand that. In other words, my spirit is God. My flesh, it's called Jesus of Nazareth. Jesus of Nazareth is not God. He is the one that dwells within Jesus of Nazareth. Jesus of Nazareth is a vehicle to gather the sins of man, a lamb to forgive all the sins. But he that is within Jesus of Nazareth is God himself. That's why Philip says, show us the Father, and it'll be enough. Just show him to us. Philip was asking for an audience, a little meeting behind the mountain. Listen, Father, here, I present Philip. Hey, how are you? No, I can't. I am. There was confusion among them, but Jesus could not explain that because his purpose was for them to be confused so they can kill him. Because if they had discovered that he was God, you think they're going to kill him? So he did that purposely. Sometimes he would say, and this is where the Jehovah's Witnesses get confused, because sometimes he would say, my Father is greater than I. Certainly the Father is greater than the flesh. But the Jehovah's Witnesses use that to say, you see, you realize that the Father is greater than him? So let's go with Jehovah and leave the Son. But it's that the Son is Jehovah. So then only Paul says, this is without question. God was manifest in flesh. So the mystery of iniquity says that God was not manifest in flesh, but that God had a son with the womb of Mary. God stood in heaven, but he begot in Mary a son. Look how infinite it is. Look, the Catholics, the Protestants, the Mormons, the Jehovah's Witnesses all teach, oh, how good to be this Son of God. And with that, they deceive you because that is the principle of iniquity, to say that he isn't God. The mystery is that God was manifest in that body.